Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is. Gotta comb my hair. A little messy today, huh? Hi, Danny. I'll show you guys my palette I have ready so far. And you can use any colors you want, and you don't have to use paint. So I just wanted to start a minute or two early to get you guys gathered up. So today we're gonna paint. I'm gonna paint, but you can use any supplies you have. Colored pencils, crayons, markers. So anyway, I'm Denyse from Artist at Heart. Hi, Eileen. Artist at Heart Paint Party on Facebook and YouTube. Artistatheart.org is my website, so you guys can check it out. You can check it out today, you can check it out now, you can check it out later. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys and to create today. And again, I want you to use any supplies you have. So I always start, let's get art smart. Art smart start, okay? So I always start with a sloppy copy. And my sloppy copy is just computer paper that I tape together to make it bigger. You can definitely use watercolor paper. You can use cardboard, tag board, whatever you have. You can recycle paper, things that come in the mail, you can like draw over. So I want you guys to use whatever supplies that you have. Now I'm gonna use again. So all I did was tape some computer paper together to make it larger. And this is gonna be my sloppy copy because I like to practice, okay? So we're just gonna practice first. And I'm gonna use a Sharpie marker so you can see it on the screen. I recommend you guys use, hi everyone, hi Bella, Emma. You can use a pencil, but if I used a pencil on here, I'll show you. You can't see it, right? Because it's so light. So I want you to be able to see it on the screen. So I am going to use a Sharpie marker, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start pretty simple by doing some lavender, okay? And again, I would do a stem, so that's a vertical line, and it's definitely not perfectly straight. And then I would do little baby circles. So even the circles do not have to touch the stem. They could just be out, they can overlap, they can be in clusters. So you can make as much lavender as you want, right? As many sprigs as you want. So that's pretty easy. It does taper a little, so it gets a little narrower at the top of it. I decided today I need a raspberry beret. No, I need a lavender beret. I don't have a lavender beret. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh, I wonder if it's too late to put my, I'm gonna put my earbuds in. Give me 1 second. So you guys catch up and do your little circles. I just got some new earbuds. I forgot.
I'm back. Did you miss me? Hey guys, so I'm hoping that my earbuds will prevent the echoing later when you guys come on the screen. So you're going to have to help me out. So hi Pam, and hi Briley and Riley and Leona and Suzanne, and I'm so glad you guys joined me this early, right? So I'm thrilled. So you guys are going to have to tell me how these things work. I got the earbuds. So I'm hoping later when you come on the screen, it stops the echoing. So as I was telling you guys, we're doing lavender, and you can make it narrower at the top, and it could get a little wider as you come down. And you can make as much as you want. I'm going to take that banner off the screen. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. So again, I want you guys to use, if you're just joining us, you can use any supplies that you have. So I just took some computer paper and taped it together, and I'm using a Sharpie marker so you can see it on the screen. And I started with a vertical line, and then I added a bunch of little circles to make it look like lavender, okay? And it's a little bit narrower at the top, and then it gets wider, a little bit wider as you come down. And I do want to also practice some bumblebees. So let's just, and again, you don't have to add bumblebees. You don't have to have lavender. You can make it a rose garden. You could make it any flowers that you want. But since lavender's in bloom, we decided to do lavender. So again, you guys can add daisies to your lavender garden. You can add whatever you want to, or again, do your own thing. You can make the whole picture of bumblebees. So let me just do some cute little bumblebees here. All right, so I'm going to put one up here with a circle. And then I'm going to do lines like that. And then a wing and another wing. I give them little antennas. So did you actually know that bees have 6 legs? So I did not know that. And when I do 6 legs, I think it looks like a caterpillar, like a flying caterpillar. So, and again, if you want to make it silly, you put a little face on it. You could do a little bumblebee face if you want. I'll make it bigger so you can see it. Yes, lavender is beautiful, and it smells so nice, and it's such a calming, fragrant flower. Okay, so let's try again. Maybe this one's a little bit more oval, little antennas. Give it a body, some stripes. What's a bee without stripes? Probably a fly. All right, let's give them some wings. Give them a face if you want. Okay, so this is our sloppy copy. We're getting art smart. We're going to practice first. Okay, so let's just do another one. So here's what my last practice bumblebee. No right or wrong. I think it looks better with 4 legs, or even 2. So you can give it as many legs as you want, but actually they have 6. So I don't recall ever seeing a bee flying around with 6 legs, but I have never looked that closely because usually I'm running away from them. So, oh, let's give this one a face just because it looks funny without. Let's give them another wing too. And a little. We're making these bees friendly. Now, did you know that the males don't have a stinger? Maybe these are the males. They're nice. Oh, nice male bumblebee. It's the females that have the stinger that get you. So, all right, there's our practice. That's our sloppy copy. We'll set that aside. Now, I'm using canvas. My canvas is 16 by 20. I know a lot of people love canvas pads, which is like a sketchbook, but it's still canvas paper. So that way it doesn't take up a lot of room. It's thin. Probably 11 by 17 is a better size for you guys. But I like 16 by 20 because you could see it better on the camera. And I'm going to draw also in black Sharpie. I use acrylic paint, but you can use anything you want. So again, sketch it all out in pencil first, and then you can use oil pastels. You can use watercolor paint. You can use acrylic paint. You can use tempera paint. They all work a little bit differently. I find that acrylic paint is non-toxic. It's very forgiving, so you can paint over it, and it's very opaque, which means you can't see through it. So that's why I really like it. But watercolor paint is beautiful, and it's very transparent, so you can see through it. The problem is if you make a mistake, it's hard to cover it up with watercolor paint. All right, so let's sketch out our lavender. So I'm gonna do some vertical lines. And again, you can make as much lavender as you want. Okay. And then you guys can sit there and draw out your little circles. I'm just going to do some to get you started. Because you know what? I would just paint these all in, but I want to give you a better idea of, you know, what your lavender can look like. And you can make your little circles as big or as small as you want to. And again, you can make it go down as far as you want to also. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea. And this is something you could do all day long. You could do it for an hour. You could do it for 2 hours. Take your time though. There's no rush. You do not have to keep up with me. You do not have to be done when I'm done. Okay, you get the idea, right? And you could do that with all of your lavender. Or roses, or daisies, or hydrangea, or your favorite flowers. Wherever you think the bees will be. We could put a glass of lemonade right there, right? A glass of lemonade, and that bee would be on it. I love being outside, but as soon as I bring something to drink out there or something to eat out there, those bees are all over. Sweet lemonade. Okay. And again, I will add more lavender later. Let's go to the cute bumblebees. So again, you can make your bumblebee flying. You can make it sitting on a flower. So I'm going to do a big, juicy bumblebee right here. Oops. Okay, I lost my earbud. Now, I just got these guys. I got this for today. So bear with me. Let's hope they hear me okay. And there's no echoing today. And it's crazy. These little things come with different size earbuds. So if mine just flew out of my ear, maybe I got the wrong size in. And again, if you want to give your little bumblebee a face, give him a little face. You don't have to, though. You want to give him legs, give him legs. But you don't have to. Give him some stripes, unless you want it to be a fly. Okay. You can give him a name, too. Maybe this is Betsy. No, we want to, Betsy, are you going to sting me? Because remember, the girls have the stingers. I shouldn't say girls. The females have the stingers and the males don't. All right, let's try another one up here. I think I heard you. Slow down, slow down. You're going too fast. Okay, I'll slow down. Catch up with me. All right, let's try some wings, some little legs. Again, give it a little face if you want to give it a little face. And you could make the bumblebee on the lavender. He could be flying in the lavender garden again. So you could just fill up this whole background with lavender. You don't have to draw it out unless you want to. You could sketch it out so you know where to put the whatever it is that you're coloring with, your colored pencils, your crayons. And again, we could always fill it in later. So here's a hint. I did the background on my paintings, and I did it, the other two that you see that are done, with a gray, real soft color, because you want to have contrast. Contrast is so that your color shows up, so it pops out, right? So if I did my background really bright, the purple wouldn't show up as well. So I want the background to be really light. You can also leave it white. And I'm going to paint mine, and I'm going to paint right over my Sharpie marker because it'll still show through. But if you're not using acrylic paint, don't do that. It won't work with watercolor paint. It won't work with tempera paint. It'll only work with acrylic paint. So if you don't have acrylic paint, you can color your background around the bee, around the lavender, all over the sky, or you can leave it white. And you can make your background gray or silver. You can make your background pale blue, so I want this one to be a little bit different. I want this one to be a little bit different. So I'm going to do mine real pale blue. Again, so on my palette, here's my palette. So I had this really pretty bright blue. I accidentally got some purple in it, okay? But I took a little bit and I mixed some white with it. And then I'm getting a really nice, pretty light blue because I want to have contrast with that purple when I put it on top of it. Okay. So again, paint, if you're using crayons or markers or colored pencils or oil pastels or chalk, paint around your lavender or color around your lavender. But if you have acrylic paint, you can just go right over it. Okay. If you want. Don't have to, but if you want, see, because I could still see my lines through my acrylic paint, and then it won't take me all day to paint around it. That's the only benefit, is that I use a little bit more paint when I paint right over it, but I get it done quicker, and then I don't have to worry about going around all those lines. So that's really your choice. So I am going to paint around my bumblebee because I don't want to make his wings blue because he has nice, pretty white wings. So I'm going to paint around it. Now, the reason why I didn't leave the background white is because his wings are white. And with his wings being white and the background being white, you wouldn't see him unless you put a nice, thick black outline. So I'm just going to do a real pale light blue for the sky. I'm just using some vertical brush strokes, but again, totally up to you. So when you add white to a color, it's called a tint, T-I-N-T. It's a tint of that color. So I'm doing a tint of blue, which is a really pale light blue. Take your time. You could still be working on the lavender. And you know, if your canvas is a lot smaller, you might get done quicker. It just depends on how detailed it is. But I have a pretty big canvas, so painting the background takes me a little bit of time. And again, you could still be drawing yours. So everyone always asks me how long something takes to dry, and it really depends on the humidity level or the moisture in the air. So yesterday I was painting outside and it was so humid and my paint wasn't drying. Now today it's really hot out. I'm inside and my air conditioner's running. The air really dries out the moisture in the air. The air conditioning dries out the moisture in the air, so it's drier. So my paint is drying quicker. So it depends on really the humidity of where you're at. So the more moisture in the air, the longer it takes to dry. Okay. So because I want to do my lavender on top of this, but it's still a little wet, I'm going to go to my bumblebee next. Now I like to paint from light to dark, which means which one's lighter? Am I going to start with the black on my bumblebee or am I going to start with the yellow on my bumblebee? Okay, I am going to go to my yellow. So if you said yellow, you're correct. I am going to do my yellow for my bumblebee. And it doesn't matter which stripe you start with. So I know I'm going to make his head black. So let's do the first stripe yellow. And again, I'm going to wait till later. I don't even put black on my plate yet because then I get black in all my pretty colors. I'm not a neat person, you guys, okay? So I tend to get my colors mixed up a lot. And I'm not even going to touch that black, but the black's really going to make it pop. So we're just going to wait and be patient. Did you guys know that about 50,000 bees live in one hive? That's a lot. That's a lot of bees in one hive. And the male bees are called drones, and the female bees are called worker bees. Interesting, right? And again, you could make 50,000 bees if you want to. we won't be making 50,000 bees with me. We'd be here all year. Wonder how long it would take to paint 50,000 bees. So again, I am not even gonna touch my black yet because I know if I touch my black, it's gonna end up everywhere. So now I'm gonna jump to my lavender. So I can go right to my pure purple. If you don't have purple, you know how to make purple? Yes, I heard you. Red and blue makes purple. Okay. Now, again, the different amount. So the more red you put, the more burgundy maroon it's going to be. The more blue you put, the more bluish purple it's going to be. So all I'm going to do is tap, 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 tap. So I'm using a round pointy brush. You see that? And I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. Now, I want it lighter. I'm going to make a tint of it. So I'm going to mix a little bit of purple and a little bit of white, and I'm getting a lighter value of purple. So that is a tint, T-I-N-T. So I could tap, 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 tap. See, I just jumped around, right? Now, I mixed it right on my canvas. Look at that. You see that purple together with the white and the dark, right? So that looks pretty cool to me. I like that look. Did I plan it? No. Okay. But I think it looks cool. So I'm just going to keep doing it. Tap, 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 tap. Now, the harder you press, the wider your brush is going to spread. The lighter, and if I use the tip, I'm going to get a rounder brush stroke. Okay? Tap, 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 tap. I guess I have large ears. Or they're in backwards. All right. Tap, 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 tap. And the bee's like, let me have some pollen. Where's that pollen? We like pollen. Now, do you know why I didn't put the green in yet? Then I'd end up with green in my lavender. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to put if I did that, then it would kind of turn a brownish color. And I don't want brown in my pretty lavender. So tap, 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 tap. So again, I just added some white and some purple. I'm going to hold it up closer so you can see it. And you can make it as light as you want to. As long as you have contrast, as long as it shows up. Tap, 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 tap. And put as much, you can put another lavender over here. Even if you didn't draw it out and you just want to paint it in. So you guys, go ahead and add as much as you want. Tap, 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 tap. You can name your bees. You can write a story about your bumblebees. Betsy and Bob. How about that? Betsy and Bob. So we have a female and a male. But our female's nice. She's not going to sting me. Now, the more I go over it, the more it gets mixed together. So don't go over it too much. You can see the brush strokes there, right? And you can add more light. You can draw as many sprigs of lavender as you want. You can draw as many bumblebees as you want. Let's put some more up here. I love to paint by myself. I love to paint with people. The other day, my mom came over and did this with me. We sat outside, and this one is my mom's, and this one is mine. And you could just see the brush stroke is different on my mom's than mine. She has a much more delicate brush stroke, so it like gentler. And I like to tell people that your brush stroke is like your handwriting. Not that it looks like your handwriting, it just looks different than everybody else's. So even if you've never painted before, okay, the way you hold whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a paintbrush, it could be a pencil, a colored pencil, chalk, the way you hold it, the pressure that you put on it, the way you move your hand, that's why your handwriting is different than everybody else's. You have a style, okay? You have a style to your handwriting and you have a style to your artwork. There's no right or wrong, it's just different, and different is good. So my mom's is different than mine. Again, I don't want everybody's to be exactly the same. I want you to do your own thing. So like your bumblebees, maybe you put as many bumblebees as there are people in your family. If there are 3 of you in your family, put 3 bumblebees if you want. Okay, you could be a mom, dad, your sisters, brothers, yourself. You could have 1 bumblebee. You could have 5. Again, you could have 50,000. But if you want to customize it, that means make it personal. You can do that by, again, like representing each person in your family. You can make it a gift for somebody, or you can make it for your grandparents, right? Or someone you know that loves bees. Now you can overlap these, right? You can leave the space in between, or they can touch. If you have them in a bundle and you want them to touch each other, you can make them go down farther. This is all up to you. Okay. Hang on 1 second. We'll let you catch up for a minute. Oh, okay, you guys, I told you I'm messy. I just poured more paint and I got half of it in my hair. Look at this. All right, so look at, I got blue in my hair now. Yikes, look at that hunk of blue. Dear Lord. Okay, I try so hard to be neat, but it just doesn't come naturally. Ugh. All right, so what I just did was I got more purple because I ran out, but my mom the other day said how boring this painting was. She's like, this painting is so boring. I said, thanks, Mom. So what we did was we decided to add some pink to it to make it a little snazzier, okay? So again, if you don't have pink, you could take some red and some white and mix it together. 6 bumblebees. Yeah, 6 is a good number. So again, maybe if you want to add a variation so the whole thing's not too purple, you could put some pink dots in there, okay? Change it up a little. See, so now I have pink and purple dots. You don't have to, but I'm just saying if you get sick of the purple and you want to throw a little bit of pink in there, go ahead. Then it could overlap each other. I can't believe I just got a hunk of blue in my hair. So it comes out. Acrylic paint comes off of everything, except once it dries on your clothes, it's permanent. That's why my apron looks like this. You could make the lavender go off the top of the page if you want. Again, throw some pink in there if you want to. So look, here I started using heavier brush strokes and they're getting closer together. Here they're lighter and gentler. So you can see more of the blue or the background coming through. No right or wrong. It just depends on which one you like better. Let's put one more sprig over here. A sprig of lavender. Let's throw some pink in there so you guys can see it. See it, pink? You can make it go off the edge if you want to. You just put random dots in there, fill up some of that space. It looks to me too straight right here. So I'm going to make some go just a little bit off the edge. Put some down here. So what happens if it gets too solid? If you make it too solid and you don't like it, you like more of when the blue is showing through. What could I do to fix that? If I want some sky blue to show through more. I mean, you could fix it. You know how I would fix it? I would make some more light blue, okay? And then, again, this is if it's too solid, like right here. I could go back and put little dots of light blue in there, and it'll make it look like the sky is showing through again. Right? So that's one way to fix it. Or you can actually paint areas of light blue. Same thing. Anywhere you feel like it got too solid, if you want to. You don't have to. But I do like putting like some random little purple dots, just not attached to my lavender. Just kind of break up some of that solid blue. But you don't have to do that. Just kind of fun. Random little dots. Purple. Or pink. Or whatever color you want to use. So since I added the pink later, I have to go back to the beginning of my painting and put some pink over here. If I wanted to make it look like the bee was flying, I wanted the bee to look like he was flying to the lavender. But if I want it to look like he is flying in front of the lavender, I can continue the lavender around him. So it looks like it's going behind him or her. Is this the Bob? I think this is the Bob. This is the Betsy. Bob and Betsy are out to dinner. They're having they're having pollen. Do you ever think they get bored with pollen? They must, because they come after my lemonade. All right. So again, once you get it to where you like it, we can go into the green. Let's do the green before we jump to the black, okay? So green would be your sprigs, your stems. I call them sprigs. Now, you could take plain green. You could add some white to it to make it a little bit lighter. Let's try plain green first. And then you can also do yellow green. Oh, that's really pretty. So I would just start at the bottom and do some vertical lines up my lavender, okay? And then leave it. Don't keep going over it. So again, some vertical, not exactly straight, green. In my lavender. And you don't have to go all the way up. And you don't have to use green. You can use brown. You don't even have to have the stems. Okay. Now, I want to show you something because I think it looks cool, but it was an accident. It was not an on purpose. Okay. Look at this stem right there. Look at that swish of color because my purple's so wet. Look at it up close. Okay. See how that paint blended together? So I did not put my stems on before I did my lavender, because when I was doing my lavender, I was going dot, 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 and it would turn. I'm going to show you. Let me show you. Okay. So I'm doing my green stems on top of my purple. Now I could always add more purple after it, but I'll show you how I did my lavender. Now, if I did my stem first, look what would happen. I want you to see the color. Do you see that kind of muddy maroon brown color? And that's what, unless you were real careful and did it around your stem, you would get that kind of mucky color, okay? And so that's why I chose to do my stem later, so that I didn't get, because it kind of turns it into a neutral gray color, and I didn't want to get that. That's why I'm doing my stems now. And I can add more lavender over the stems in a little bit. But let's try some yellow. I have all this yellow paint. Let's make a yellow green. So I have some green and some yellow together, and I just mixed it into that pretty little color right there. And so I'll just show you again. Let's do a line here. I'll just go over one of these greens. Okay. See how pretty that is? Do you see how that yellow green brightens it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more interesting? So just a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green. You should get like a bright green if you're using paint. And again, you could just add the stems wherever you want. You could do it right on top of the green. Let's cover this mucky mess. Your stems could go all the way to the bottom. They don't have to. And I'm just showing you the easiest way that I find to paint. That doesn't mean it's the only way. There's lots of different ways, okay? But again, if I was really neat and I wanted to sit there and draw my stems and then paint my little dots around it, I absolutely could do that. But I'm not neat and I'm not that patient. So I would rather do it this way. Okay. And again, if you want later, you can always, and you can put just some tall wispy grass at the bottom. So I'm just using like some vertical brush strokes. Fill it up. Again, it could be green, green, yellow. You could try pure yellow. You could have as many as you want. just to get it to where you like it. So I would, again, don't overpaint it. And then stop. When you like it, stop. All right, so I don't want to overpaint it. So I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to stop. There. Okay. Now you guys can paint the wings white if you want to. Okay. So you can paint the wings white, or you can leave it the canvas color. I'll do mine white real quick. Oops, I got yellow in it, but that's okay. So I accidentally bumped into my yellow, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys, because I think, again, it looks cool. So look at my wing. I bumped into the yellow because it's still wet, and now I got light yellow. But I think that makes it interesting. I think it looks pretty cool like that. So now I'm going to do the other wing, paint it in. All right, I know you can't really tell, but again, it could be, I got a little bit of light purple in that one, got a little bit of light blue in this wing. No one knows your mistakes but you and whoever you tell. So I'm telling you guys, when you bump into a color and it gets into your wing, it actually makes it a little more interesting to feel like a reflection in the wing, okay? All right, now let's go to the black, which again, I did not even put the black on my plate yet because I know I bumped into it. Look, you just saw me get black in my, or blue in my hair. So I know this is early for some of you guys. So you guys, this is sponsored by the Toledo Public Library. Thank you so much, Toledo Public Library, which is in Ohio. So I know a lot of you guys are watching all over the country, which is so awesome. But I know California, Arizona, it's like 6:30 in the morning. Now it's like 7 in the morning. So a lot of you guys don't join us that early. But now I'm going to do his black stripe. Go slow with the black. Take your time. Because especially if you're painting, it's a little harder to cover up a black mistake. So possible. And this is recorded, so you guys can watch it later. Okay, now I'm going to paint right over his face because I'm going to make this black. Give him a little antenna. Okay, you can outline your wing, especially if your background is white, to make them stand out. You can wait for it to dry and you can use marker. Again, I'm going to do a stripes here. I'm going to paint over his face. Bye-bye, Bob. See you later. And again, you can put the little legs. You could go back into it and add some more purple. This is the time where you guys can add details if you want to add details to your artwork. So let's just say some of that purple on the stems I wanted to go over. So the stems aren't so strong, but again, don't keep going over and over it, especially if it's muddy. Just tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. That way, the only part of the green is showing. But if it's still really wet and you're getting a not pretty color, let it dry. Let it dry, okay? And now you have a bumblebee, lavender / whatever you want to make painting, right? Fun. Did you guys have fun? I hope so. So here is what I'm going to do. I am going to paste here the StreamYard. So that is the link to come on the screen. If you want to come on the screen and share with us what you created today, what I'm going to ask that you do is, could you please say your name and where you're from or where you live? You could just say, like, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. You could say how old you are, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but you guys, if you want, say how old you are, what city you live in, and you could say your name also. So, and again, all you have to do is click that link if you're not sure. Oh, let me say one more thing. So what happens is there's actually two volumes. There's a volume on your computer and there's a volume on Facebook. So I'm going to ask that you guys turn the volume down on Facebook, not on your computer. So if you turn the volume down on Facebook, it'll prevent it from echoing and making a background sound, because actually we're slightly delayed by a few seconds. So what happens is when you come on the screen, you're still hearing from a couple seconds ago. So find the Facebook volume, turn it down, but don't turn down your computer volume. And then when you come on the screen, hopefully you don't hear any echoing. We're going to give that a try. And if you're new, all you have to do is click on the StreamYard link. It'll bring you into a waiting room, and then I can bring you up on the screen. All you have to do is click on the
Hi,
Leona.
It'll bring you into a waiting room, and then I can bring you up on the screen.
Hi,
Hi,
Leona.
It'll bring you into a waiting room, and then I can bring you up on the screen.
So pretty.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this on a Saturday morning. Hi, Eiley.
Here's mine. I didn't put, I put it, if you can see that little green thing in the sky there, that's my little, green butterfly, the greenest butterfly in the world. And when, and I did these little crafts, like I cut it out TVs and glued them to cardboard. And I got some coffee, food, baby, all the stuff. And I also got a little deer thing me and my mom made.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
And I love your shirt.
Thank
Cool
you.
shirt. Girls rule. Okay, I agree. Thanks, Eileen.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, girls rule. Sorry, boys. I'm just kidding. We like boys too. So, especially the male bees because they don't sting, right? So let's see what else I want to tell you guys. Oh, let me give you my website again. So that's my website, you guys, artistatheart.org. If you want to see more videos, it's kind of like Netflix for art. So on there, you can go on there, you can browse. I have a little store on there if you guys want to check out all the different products that I really like, some art kits. There's a book on there that I just illustrated. It's about what's happening right now and how to get through it when life hands you bananas. So that's also on there if you want to check it out and keep creating. I will be happy to, give you any more tips if you guys want to message me. Hang on, Ben's here. Let's get rid of this banner so we can go full screen. Hey, Ben.
I didn't make anything because I just woke up, but here I am.
And what time is it there? Tell us where you are.
Yes, I'm in San Jose, California. It's 7:30 in the morning.
I can't believe you're up at 7:30 in the morning. That's still pretty early.
Mine was like sometimes 6, so.
Ugh. So yeah, it was. So we went early this morning, but we try not to do too early. So I'm glad you came on.
It was just time is time, so it just went by, and then you luckily caught on.
It's gonna be recorded, so you can watch it.
Okay, thanks.
Oh yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Danny.
Hi, Denyse.
How are you?
Hi, Denyse. Good, and you? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Right, I can't hear you, Denyse.
Okay.
So how are you today? Are you good? Okay, well, I'll see you August 5th. Bye.
Sounds good.
Bye, Denyse.
Hi, girls.
Oh, you're on. Wow.
Say Cora and Natasha.
This is mine. My mom did it too. Our mom did it too.
Okay.
This is mine. It was a rose.
Oh, I love the rose.
Natasha, you're up.
This is mine.
Uh-oh. We lost you, girls.
You just do.
Your stream went
All right,
black. Oh, there. Yay.
I'm using light blue for the background that I have not finished yet.
It looks pretty.
This is mine. And I drew a girl bee and a blue bee. One was bumping its head against the glass.
Okay.
And the background's pink.
I love it.
Okay. Show yours.
This is our mom's.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. That looks great.
Thank you so much, Denyse. We love
Thank you
painting
guys
with
for doing it with me. Thank you.
Bye. By the way.
Oops, I lost her.
By the way.
Wait, were you saying something to me?
Skeletons too.
Did you forget to say something?
Skeletons too. The skeleton faces.
Oh.
Oh.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
You want to say anything?
This is mine so far. I'm not finished yet.
Oh, I like how you did the wings blue.
Thank you.
And I like the curly antennas.
This is mine.
Oh, that looks great. And then you did a face. I need to do a face.
Okay.
And did you know that there are blue bees?
No, I did not know there was a blue bee.
And we actually have them in Florida. They were thought to be extinct, but they were found here.
Really? Do they sting? Do they sting?
Oh, yeah, they probably do.
Oh, and did you know that if a bee stings you, that if you don't try to touch it or swat it away, it'll just sit there and unscrew its stinger and then fly away.
So it'll keep the stinger and not die.
So if a bee lands on me, I should just let it sit there and sting me?
No, if it stings you. If it already stung you.
Yeah, because if you swatted it or anything.
You do not try to remove the stinger yourself, because then the bee will die. It will tear off the bee and it will die. But if you just let the bee sit there, it will remove the stinger by itself and will fly away.
I don't know if I have enough patience to do that, but let's hope it doesn't happen. Okay, all this bee talk. I think I'm afraid now. I'll just run.
Because if you don't swat at a bee or anything, you can actually hold a bumblebee in your hand, and it won't sting you if you don't hurt it or anything.
Okay, I'm not going to try that either. Don't try this at home. Okay, we are not suggesting any pet bumblebees here, right?
We're not.
Thanks, girls, for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi. I made 2 of the pictures. I made one with white paper and yellow paper. And
let's see.
This one's my first one.
Okay. That looks great.
The second one is right here. And it was really hard to make it because of the details. And the paper was yellow and one was white. So we have this kind of paint, the bottle paint. That's harder to use.
Tempera paint I love tempera. So I was an art teacher for 20 years and I always use tempera paint. It's not as covering as acrylic paint. So, but you're doing a great job. And you know what? If you just wait a little bit to add the details, let it dry a little bit, and you can go back into it with more details.
And we have all kinds of paintbrushes. Like this one is bigger than this one, and they get stuck with paint on it, and it breaks always. So we have
yeah. So look at me. Me too. So I have a lot of paintbrushes, and I always say, if you're gonna don't get the cheapest paintbrushes because the cheapest ones fall apart. So the plastic cheap ones. But again, use them till they fall apart, and then throw them out and get some more.
Mm-hmm. We have this huge brush.
That's good for big areas like the background, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a big brush is good for big areas, and then a little brush, the smallest brush is good for details. And you know what else you could do? You could use the handle. If you want to use little tiny dots, you can flip the handle upside down, watch. And I could just add some little dots with my handle. So you just dip in whatever color you want. I just chose white so it shows up. And then you just dip and dot, dip and dot, dip and dot, dip and dot. Okay?
It's really easy to see it when you use white. I use purple.
So the reason why it's showing up is because there's contrast. If I did the white dot on the background, you wouldn't see it as well because the background's so light. So when I was showing you, I was choosing the darker spots. So keep practicing, keep playing, have fun. Thanks for doing it with me.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. You guys, thanks so much for creating with me today, drawing with Denyse, getting creative in Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you so much, Toledo Public Library, for sponsoring this event. And again, it will be recorded. Hang on one second. I got the girls. Hey, girls, did you want to come back on? Look at all those art supplies. I don't think that they know that they're back on. That's okay. Their camera popped back up, so I wasn't sure if they wanted. Sometimes, a lot of times, people want to come back up and share more stuff with us. So if you love doing this, check out artistatheart.org. I'll show you the banner one more time. That's the website. I have a YouTube channel, Artist at Heart Paint Party, along with the Facebook page, Artist at Heart Paint Party. You'll see all my events on the Facebook page. I keep that really every day. I upload stuff. And if you check out the website, I have more details, more videos, more options if you guys want to do. If you really like this, I look at it like a Netflix on demand. So it's really just a whole bunch of art videos that you can choose from. I go live once a week in our private Facebook group with all of the members, and we'll be going live again on Wednesday. So thanks so much, you guys, for joining me. Have a beautiful weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.